World Economic Forum's gender report states that no country in the world has yet to manage to eliminate the gender gap. This is a big issue, not just for men and women in the workplace, but also an issue for homosexuals being judged just because of their sexual orientation. This goes way past just being paid differently. This goes way past just being treated differently. It's a huge issue in businesses today. Diana Weeks states in Workplace Evaluation that men at age 16 on average make a weekly salary of about $753, while women only make an average of $689. It might not sound like that much of a difference. It's only about $80 a week, but it's a huge difference. Whenever you think of that in a year-long span, the women in workplaces are being paid way less than actual men are. My mom, for example, works at a bank. She is a loan officer and actually the vice president of the bank. However, she gets paid way less than all the men for the sole fact that the whole entire board of trustees at her bank are all men. So instead of giving raises to people that deserve it for my mom for being the best person in sales that month or that week or that year, the men on the trustees committee are pretty much just handing it out to each other just for the fact that they have a say in it. There is a lady at work that used to work at a auto parts store. She worked at a Hilo O'Reilly. She was actually an assistant manager there, but since the fact that she was a girl, all the men in the place, including all the customers, treated her like she had no idea about any auto part that they had questions about. She would be overlooked all the time for the sole fact that being a mechanic, being in the car industry, is still basically a man's job, but that's not to say that women do not know the same amount, if not more than men do in it. James Carmichael wrote an article called Male Librarians Tell Their Side of the Story. This is an article about one man who wanted to be a librarian. He loved learning about books, he loved reading books, and he wanted to enlighten everyone about that. He was often called gay because he was a librarian. Today, most librarians are female. It's not saying that it's a female job, but whenever you don't see that many of men in this job, it's often the stereotype that they're gay. The same stereotype if men are trying to sell clothing. If they know anything about it, it makes them seem like they're gay because they enjoy fashion, or they're gay because they dress well. It's a huge stereotype that really shouldn't be around, but it is. I am the team lead of Team Sports at Academy, and I am one of the only 2 girls in our department. Whenever I actually moved over to Team Sports, I often got treated by a lot of the men in my department because they didn't think that I knew anything about any sport. They didn't think that I knew anything about football. They didn't think that I knew anything about baseball. When in reality, I'm one of the only people in the department that knows how to size a kid for shoulder pads, that knows how to size a kid for a football helmet. But the fact that I'm a girl, they often overlook because I might not have played football, that I don't know anything about it. There are often customers that come in there, and if I'm standing right next to a guy, 9 times out of 10 they'll turn to the guy and look straight over me and ask them if they know where some piece of equipment or something is in our department because of the fact that he is a male and it is the sports department. Ruth Mayhem on eHow talked about many of the solutions that can be provided towards actually solving some of the gender issues. All of the solutions that she had pretty much pointed at training management, training employees, pretty much training everyone multiple steps of the way down in the business to treat everyone equally, no matter if it's a male or a female. But at the same point in time, you're going to have to actually change people's minds about it. Stereotypes are a huge thing that's pretty much something that just gets set in your mind at a very young age. It has nothing to say that that's your actual beliefs, but it's just how people think. If they don't take the time to think that someone just might like selling apparel that's a guy, someone might like being a librarian that's a guy, they are going to jump right back to those stereotypes, thinking that people are all the same, and that if you are selling clothes and you're a guy, you're obviously gay and stuff like that. It's just getting the knowledge out to people that everyone's different. People like different things. Just because you like selling apparel doesn't mean that you're gay. It just means that you like selling apparel. As far as money issues and people getting treated different, it all has to do with everyone actually looking at people not by their actual gender, but by looking at people for what they put forth in the company, what they do for the company. If they do more than a man, they should get paid more than a man, but it's just how the world works right now, and the only way that it will ever change is if people actually grow up out of what they're used to and actually look at everyone like they're the same, and no matter if they're male or female. Gender issues are a huge thing in businesses. Gender issues are a large thing in every single day life. So I just ask that everyone looks at everyone like they're equally and don't think less of someone because they might not be doing what you want them to do. Thank you.